So recently Joe's mom asked me to make her one of my famous Creole bun, right? And send it to her where she lives in Oklahoma. So I made 2 instead of 1 because Joe wanted to have one for himself. You're watching the Bare Pantry Show. My name is Barbara, and for over a decade I've been teaching viewers and subscribers how to cook authentic dishes from my home country of Belize and many other delicious dishes from basic ingredients. So in my book Beans and Rice Volume 2, I have Belizean Creole bread and Creole bun 3 different times. The full recipe, the half recipe, and the quarter. So the full recipe for both breads gives you 5 loaves. The half recipe gives you 2, this one, and then the quarter recipe only gives you 1 loaf. I also put the 1 loaf recipe in this book, all right? Then the No More Leftovers book. So if you don't have this one, you can find it in this one, all right? So let's get right into how we do this bun. We start off first of all by activating the yeast. I have some warm water from the faucet. I put the yeast in and some sugar from the allotment of sugar, and then I did time lapse so you guys can see how the yeast gets activated. Cool, right? So now I only have a little bit of raisins because my mother-in-law also wants some powder buns. Pretty much she wants a little pataki, okay? So put the raisins in, some baking powder, cinnamon, and some vanilla extract, and this was given to the show by my friend Liz. Thank you so much, Liz, for the extracts. They're coming in handy over here. So I don't have any coconut milk, so I'm going to use evaporated milk. You know how we do it here at the Bare Pantry Kitchen. If we don't have one thing, we'll use something else. So I put the butter in, the milk, and then the yeast mixture. So you want to put in all these important wet things first before you start adding extra water, okay? And I'm going to add warm water. So let me go ahead and just mix. You can also heat up the milk a little bit in the microwave too if you want the milk to be warm, but I didn't do that this time. So the key to making any kind of bread like this is you have to add the water slowly. Kind of move it around with your hand to feel where all the dry spots are, because you don't want to overwet it, because if you overwet it, you're going to have to add more flour, and then that tends to make your bun or your bread a little bit tough and dry, okay? Now this bun that I'm making is going to be very light. It's not going to be no heavy bun. Just delicious. So dump it out and then start kneading it on a floured countertop. At some point it's going to get annoying, so stop and go wash your hands, dry it. I'm telling you guys what to do, like if you're making this bun, right? I'm the one making the bun. So just go ahead and knead until the dough becomes smooth. How long that takes? It's dependent upon your level of expertise, all right? So if you're good at kneading, it's going to come together rather quickly, like I'd say within 5 to 8 minutes. If you're not great at kneading, it might take you a little bit longer. Just don't get frustrated, right? Don't give up. Let me flour it some more because there were some sticky spots. Okay, so turn it, and you know how I do it over here. I don't wash the bowl. Put it back in here. I'm not even going to grease the bun. Cover it up, and then an hour later, look. You see all this fancy editing I'm doing, guys? So dump out the dough, and they say punch it, and sometimes I do punch it, but you don't have to punch it. You just want to re-knead it to get out all the air, okay? So just re-knead. And I did a shorts or a Facebook Reels. I'm doing shorts and Reels on this, okay? I have a 15-second video on this. So knead it until it stops releasing all that air. Cut it in 2 because remember I told you at the beginning this is going to give you 2 loaves. And I'm not going to make the loaves round, I'm going to make them rectangular. So you want to go ahead and roll them into a rectangular. And then tuck and roll like if you're folding a towel. Tuck it tight, all right? Now when you get to the end, make sure it's all even. And then sew it shut by pinching it with your fingers. I threw away that little raisin because if it stays on the outer side of the dough, it's going to burn when it bakes. So I'm just going to put it in the next half. So let me set this piece aside to do the other one. See, I'm just going to put the raisin in this one. And then I'm pretty much going to do the same thing to it. Roll it into a rectangle. Tuck and roll. Look how fast I'm going now, guys. It's all in the editing. Sew it shut and then tuck the ends. I guess I say under, but it's over because it's on the top side right now. So tuck the ends over. So when you turn it, turn it over, it's under. So then put it in a greased loaf pan. And then now I put a little bit of butter on top. Cover it up. 45 minutes to an hour later. Take a look at this. The oven is up to temperature at 325 degrees Fahrenheit because buns are supposed to be baked slow and low. Don't bake it at 350, all right? Look how beautiful these are. After they cool down a tad, we're gonna go ahead and mix up a little bit of sugar and water. And we're gonna go ahead and, well, we have to take them out from the tins first, right? I'm gonna go ahead and brush these on, and I got a good brush this time. I'm not using that silicone, whatever those brushes are that don't ever do a good job with this. And I'd like to see somebody in here touch my brush to use barbecue sauce, to put barbecue sauce on their meat. No, this is for my breads. Oh my goodness, this is what makes it sticky and gooey and just delicious. Guys, you can make this. You can even start selling this. Barbara made good money with this back in the 1980s. I used to sell bread and bun. Shh, don't tell nobody. Shh. All right, so it's time for me and Joe to taste. And when we're doing our little reels or shorts, we just kind of do one little chomp like that at the end. And I have a little story to tell you guys about that, because Joe doesn't understand that you're supposed to just chomp and wait. So he's chomping and eating. Why, Joe? Why? See? Look at it right now. I've cut a slice. We're sharing it. So he's chewing. I'm like, again, like that little dinosaur. And Joe's like, when can I chew? I'm like, you can't chew. You have to just chomp and hold it, all right? Anyways, let's bring the bun back into view just so you guys can see how gorgeous it is. It's almost done. The other loaf is on its way to Joe's mom right now, and then this is our loaf. And see, the raisins are very sparing, all right? So now remember, if you want to give me a show idea or a shorts or a reels idea, or if you want to know how to become a sponsor to the show, hit me up at this email address below, barepantryshow@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and of course, leave me a comment, and I'll see you guys on the next upload. Bye! Remember, guys, we're not buying this book. Pick up a copy of this book instead. Beans and Rice Volume 2 is the only Belizean cookbook backed by the Bear Pantry Show. Take a look at all these wonderful recipes you'll find inside the pages. Not interested in Belizean dishes? Then The Pantry Laid Bare with these better than restaurant quality comfort foods might be the perfect book for you. Only need a small batch or a meal for two? Then pick up a copy of No More Leftovers. Each book has many choices of delicious dishes from basic ingredients.